All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark. This is our good friend Kramer. Martin's gone again doing his thing. Today, we're going to talk about the AFC North, the Browns, the Bengals, the Ravens, and the Steelers.
Yeah. I know on Morning Spike we talked about AFC North already, and there wasn't much. It's just one of those divisions that just didn't do much this overall, I think.
Yeah. I mean, some of them didn't need to. Well, at least one of them didn't need to, but
yeah.
I mean, I think the ones who needed to do stuff did more in the draft.
Yeah.
Than in free agency.
Yeah, but it's going to be interesting because now with Big Ben kind of becoming old Ben, and this got to be his last career. You know, this division is kind of open, especially with the Browns being who they were last year with the best O-line in the NFL and stuff like that. You know, and then Baltimore still got Lamar Jackson back there, who could be the greatest player or could be one of the worst players.
Right.
So, the three of them are, could run away with it this year. One of them for sure is gonna, I think, win it, without a doubt. But yeah, without Steelers being the big bad boys that they were, I think this is gonna be a good, interesting season. It's not gonna be blowout, but be interesting.
Yeah. Well, they're definitely defensive loaded in this division for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
At least the top three.
Yeah. So you want to start with the bottom one, the Bengals?
Bottom, and work our way up. We'll go with the Bengals first.
Yeah.
They got Trey Hendrickson, defensive lineman from the Saints, who blew up last year. We'll see if he can translate that to the Bengals. They got cornerback Chidobe Ozaway, cornerback Mike Hilton from the Steelers. So they took a rival there, and then they did address offensive line by getting Riley Reff. Not that I would call that a huge improvement.
Yeah, I was like,
but they did get an offensive line.
It was. Yeah,
he came from the Vikings.
Okay. It could be a good improvement. Vikings had a good O-line.
Yeah, and then their biggest splashes came in the draft, where they got Jamar Chase, obviously. A little LSU connection with Joe Burrow, so that's kind of cool. They did get an offensive lineman in the second round, and Jackson Cameron from Clemson. They got an edge rusher, Joseph Osai. I don't know. I'm horrible at pronouncing names. He's an edge rusher from Texas.
All right. And
then they got another edge rusher in the fourth round with Cameron Sample, a defensive tackle, Tyler Shelvin, and then another offensive lineman, Deante Smith from East Carolina.
Okay.
And then they drafted a kicker in the fifth round. That's not something you see every day.
Yeah,
kicker.
I bet you the kicker was surprised. He's like, who, me?
All right. I mean, it's no Buccaneers drafting one in the second round, but
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, obviously this team kind of needed a little bit of everything, but you got somebody like Burrow, who maybe could be a pretty good quarterback, but without an O-line, what do you expect any quarterback to do? Whether it be the crappiest or the best, Yeah, so,
exactly.
I mean, he's got Chase, which is, I think, really, really interesting. I wonder what they can do, but I don't know. I don't know.
I'm excited when he's upright and get the ball to Jamar Chase. That should be a heck of a connection. But like you were saying, with how much of an offensive line exactly. I mean, he already had 34 sacks, I think, before he got hurt, which is only 16 behind the leader, Carson Wentz, for the year. And that was week 9, 10, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I'm looking at this one article. Chris Sims ranks Joe Burrow amongst NFL quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So Sims usually ranked every NFL passer, blah blah blah. So Burrow was right in the middle of the pack, while Mahomes is obviously first, and Josh Allen is, and Aaron Rodgers are up there. Steve. So yeah, he's Burrow's in the middle of the pack where he ranked them, right behind Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr, and Ryan Tannehill. But yeah,
I mean, that's not a horrible company to be in, I don't think. Especially if you've only been part of 1 year in the league.
Yeah, I mean, and I know we'll get into Baker Mayfield later, but the difference of what an O-line could do, and I know we were talking a little bit before we went live, was the best offensive line makes a quarterback look amazing, because Baker Mayfield is an average, a good quarterback, but he had a great year last year because of his O-line. So if Cincinnati can follow in Cleveland's footsteps and get a good O-line, I think Burrow can be really, really productive with their wide receivers, because they also got a really good wide receiver core on there. Who is it? Chase, Higgins.
Higgins. I like Higgins a lot too.
I mean, that's I think was this Chris Rowling, is blah, blah, blah. I think he gives them like somewhere in the top 10 or close to top 10 receiving cores. He ranks them as 12th when it comes to like their the receiving core team, which is not bad, which is pretty good.
I mean, for a young quarterback.
Yeah. So they got guys that can catch the ball, and they got a quarterback that could throw the ball. I mean, he's not like Aaron Rodgers, or Tom Brady with like precision and stuff like that, but he could do the job. So I don't know if these ads that they got from the O-line will help, but I don't know.
It can't hurt.
Yeah, anymore. It can't get any worse.
Yeah, it can't get any really worse than it did last year. So, but yeah, I do agree. I mean, if they can follow the same route as the Browns, get them an offensive line, and then, I mean, obviously they probably should upgrade the defense a bit, because, I mean, if you're that bad, you have holes everywhere, like you said. But, I mean, I think they're on the right track. Maybe 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, definitely. Because he also said like it's a pretty good defensive division, which I agree. I mean, Steelers are forever going to be known for their defense. Baltimore, Ray Lewis, people still talk about him. That defense is really good. Cleveland and Cincinnati, I think both can use more Cincinnati than Cleveland, but I think those are the two weaker defenses in this division. So that could change. That could change. Like if those two teams can get better defenses, I can see both of these teams like crushing it in this division.
Right.
Because I mean, Cleveland got the best O-line. The backfield in Baltimore's offense is really good, so you have to have a good defense for them. So it's interesting.
It's funny you say that about. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's funny you say that about Cleveland, though. Most people have them ranked as the number 3 defense in the league, in front of the Ravens.
Oh, really?
And the Steelers. Yeah.
Damn. I guess I don't know. I was always like paying attention to their offense more than their defense.
Well, that's where most of their superstars are, but I mean, they got Myles Garrett and Clowney on the other side now. So.
Oh yeah. Wow. So they have them at the 3rd ranked.
Yeah.
Like in the league.
In the league, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. So damn, that's
their secondary is really good. And then I think they improved their. I mean, we'll get to them here in a second, but they improved their linebackers significantly with the draft, and then they were able to bring in Clowney, so kind of changes up their defensive look a bit.
I'm not too much of an AFC guy, and I know this is like an AFC thing, but
well, my sister's favorite team is the Browns, so I tend to follow them a little bit more than other teams. Yeah,
that's pretty interesting. I didn't know they were like that good at the defense. I know they had a good defense, obviously, to be where they were last year. But going back to the Bengals, we'll talk about the Cleveland Browns in a bit.
Yeah.
So like any improvements that you think the Bengals can do before the season starts? Because they've been pretty quiet in free agency, as the training camp is coming up.
I mean, I think as we get going, I mean, I think there's still some opportunities to improve the offensive line out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some veterans, because of cap and stuff, will end up being cut. So I think there's still some opportunity to do that. The one thing that I think they should improve, though, too, is a running back. But they didn't pick up any running backs, and their number one guy is Mixon, and I don't trust him to stay healthy for a year.
Oh, Mixon? Yeah.
Yeah,
they definitely need a running back.
And they lost Giovanni Bernard. He signed with Houston, I think.
Dang. With Houston. What the? It's just like every time I hear somebody going to Houston. I mean, possibly. Yeah. I mean, who was it? I think Martin was talking about how Houston's got like so many running backs.
Oh, now. I don't know what they're doing.
Kind of like I don't even think they're gonna have a quarterback in play this year. They're just gonna run like three running backs.
Wildcat.
Yeah. Or just make up a whole new scheme kind of thing. But yeah, I'm looking right now. This says as of today, this morning, the Bengals are sitting on a $20 million free cap space, which is a decent amount of money for a team to have.
Right, they could pull a trade. They could,
I
mean, I don't know who's really left to sign, but
I mean, I know Villanova was available. I think he got signed already. I believe, but he was out there. I was
gonna say he was out there for a while. He's I mean, he's not top tier, but he's definitely middle tier, solid starting left tackle. Big dude, takes up a lot of space.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good O-line. Let's see.
Yeah.
But I know he got a lot of like flack last year. With the whole sitting and standing or kneeling and standing thing for that. He signs with the Ravens. Oh, which is awesome. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Well, there you go. The Ravens just signing all kinds of in division offensive linemen.
Yeah, just like we can't beat them, might as well buy them.
Right.
Let's see. So we got the Cincinnati Bengals. They the odds for them is 6.5. That's their over under for the season.
I'd probably have them under.
Unless they just do something crazy, I don't see them winning a lot of games.
Yeah, not with this division.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm looking at the schedule real quick. They got a pretty tough schedule. I mean, maybe on Halloween they get one out through the Jets.
We're gonna play 3 top 5 defenses 6 times.
Yeah. Holy shit, they have a tough schedule. I mean, even like they're going against the Broncos towards the end of the season, which like, I mean, Broncos offense really kind of sucks, but their defense is, I can see their defense scoring 2 touchdowns alone,
Right.
Like if Burrow just like tosses it up, and hopes Chase is going to catch it. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
That's like he's getting yanked down by Von Miller or Bradley Chubb.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't see them winning 6 games.
Yeah,
I don't see
hard,
them winning.
Hard sell for me too.
Yeah, I can see them being, with this schedule, one of the worst teams in the league. I really do. So
yeah,
I can see maybe splitting with the Steelers. Maybe splitting.
Yeah, that's only because the Steelers are really good at playing down to their opponents. They split with them last year, and I think they didn't have Burrow once.
Yeah. Steelers had a weird year last year, which I know we'll get into them later. But I mean, just in the division, I don't see them beating Cleveland. I don't see them beating Baltimore, and maybe splitting with the Steelers again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
one division. All right, go Bengals.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go on to you want to go on to the Browns next?
Sure.
with the Browns, who did they win last year's? They didn't win the division because Steelers won the division, right?
No, but they had to beat the Steelers to make the playoffs. And then they beat them in Pittsburgh in the wild card game.
Yeah, that's what it was, because they gave them a pretty good beating.
Yeah.
Too. People were expecting a little bit closer, and Cleveland just ran away with it.
Well, when you're up like 35-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, oh man, it was so bad. It was.
They had the snap that went over Ben's head, touchdown, a pick six, another interception that led to a touchdown. Like, it was nuts.
Yeah.
I was at work, but I just remember like going, "Oh, what's the score?" And I'm like, "Wait, am I seeing that right?" I was like, "That literally says 28-0 with like 8 minutes to go in the first quarter."
So bad.
That was nuts.
So bad. You want to list off all their moves they did so far?
Yes. They added 3 people, all on the defensive side. They brought in strong safety John Johnson, cornerback Troy Hill, and I think the biggest bring in to replace Olivier Vernon, who left or was cut. They brought in Jay Clowney, defensive end, former number 1 overall pick. So I think that'll be interesting to see him on the other side of Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nasty 1-2 punch. Clowney and Garrett.
Oh, yeah.
And then the draft. I'm unprepared, apparently. There we go.
Sorry.
They got Greg Newsome the second, another corner. So there's definitely a trend here saying they needed to work on their defense. Well, that's apparently what they did.
Yeah.
And then they got, I think, which was one of the steals of the draft in the second round, they got Jeremiah Osuno Koamoa, linebacker from Notre Dame. Jock for short. Much easier to say.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they got Anthony Schwartz, wide receiver out of Auburn. And then they went in the later rounds, offensive tackle, defensive tackle, another linebacker, safety, and then a receiver. So lots of secondary help, some linebacker, offensive line. They did lose an offensive lineman, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they lost one of their guards. Oh, no, I think they traded him away last year, actually. Never mind.
Okay, I was like, they're going to afford him? Because, I mean, that's a team you definitely want to keep that O-line intact. I mean, for as long as possible. Because they were just dominating, you know. And it still blows my mind that, like, when we did our trivia thing on the Morning Spike, and when I found that stat that they were the best O-line with, you know, pass and rush, ranked number 1, I was like, wow. And that just like explains so much on how they were so good last year. You know, it was like, oh, that's why. It was like, yeah, you know, they got rid of the cancer, OBJ, which I think he's still technically on the team.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, you know, but then that O-line was just, boy. It
doesn't hurt to have a 1-2 running back tandem of Chubb and Hunt either.
Chubb and Hunt. Yeah, that is, man. I mean, also there were Landry, Higgins, Austin Hooper was a pretty good tight end last year.
They really use them though. That's the problem. It wasn't until like the end of the year where they finally were like, "Oh yeah, we have this guy."
Yeah. You know, because I think it was. I don't know if they were really double teaming Landry a little bit more, but I mean, Rashad Higgins was seeing a decent amount of touches as well. But yeah, I remember I picked up Hooper, Austin Hooper at the end of the season, towards the end of the season, because all year I had tight end issues, so he kind of helped me out a little bit towards the end.
Nice.
But man, these guys are just, I don't know, but yeah, they didn't do too much besides just sign a lot of defensive guys. Yeah. I mean, even like I'm looking at some of the news that they're doing, and everything is just like favorite, you know, like talking about Myles Garrett, just talking about all the same guys that were already on there.
But I mean, that's good. That means they already had a solid core, and like you said, offensively, they were already pretty much there.
Yeah, I mean, if that's not broken, don't change it. Man, hopefully, my only thing with that offense is with OBJ, obviously coming back, can they control him? I don't know if that's a better.
I think this past year before he got hurt, he wasn't as bad as he normally was. I think they were gelling. I mean, granted, it's hard to say because it wasn't until he got hurt that they actually really started putting some beatings on people.
Yeah. I know that one thing that really bothers me was when one of our other guys, Alfredo, brought it up. Is when I first saw it was Mayfield threw a touchdown, and then he went over to OBJ and apologized because he didn't throw the touchdown to him. And I'm like, that's messed up, man. I was like,
yeah, you should not have to do that.
No, I was like, that's just so cancerous to me. It's like, that's bad. That's poison, man. Because you're trying to bend over backwards for this one guy. It's like it's not Madden where you can just throw it to the same guy every single time, kind of thing. It's like it's real life, like it's just, I don't know. That was disappointing. So hopefully, I think. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You finish. Sorry.
But no, I was just hoping with like what you said with last year, the team changing so much after OBJ got hurt that hopefully Mayfield can be like, nah, listen, I'm going to do what's best for the team. Hopefully.
And that's what he should do, to be honest.
Yes.
If he throws a touchdown, OBJ should be running to the guy who got a touchdown and high-fiving him, going like, all right, let's go.
Yeah. I don't, because to me also it's like if the ball can get spread around more, that just means the bigger plays can be thrown to OBJ. You know what I mean? It's like, because now they have to cover him. They have to cover him. They have to cover him. They have to watch for the running game. So you're going to spread out that defense more. And if OBJ is a one-on-one with majority of these corners, that's a win every single time. Mayfield just throws it up and OBJ is going to catch it. So if I was him, I would be happy. Like, cool. But
or you think they have more plays like that Dallas play where he runs the ball for an 80-yard touchdown? That play was nuts.
That was.
I saw that again on Instagram the other day.
Yeah, that's how you know football is. It's been too long. You start seeing all these old plays from last year,
right?
Resurfacing on TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. I was like, no, we need new highlights.
Exactly.
Dude, so I looked up Cleveland Browns for any news right now. The biggest thing right now is fans are mad at Baker Mayfield for going to a San Diego baseball game, it looks like, and like cheering for. They were in Chicago, not San Diego. Something like, yeah, he was cheering for the wrong team in baseball or something like that, and they got mad. I was like, really, Cleveland? That's what you're gonna get mad about? That's the
get mad at something, I guess.
That's what something is. It's just a slow. That got to be a slow news day because I'm sure it's like one or two people like brought it up and said something stupid, and then
just kind of snowballs from there.
Yeah. Let's see, but what? Anything else?
No, but I'm gonna guess they're over under at all 10.5. Just a guess.
9.5.
Awesome.
So you're close. I can see it better than that though.
I'm gonna say over on that one. Easy. I mean, I guess it'll be weird coming into a season where they have to manage expectations. It's not something the Browns normally have to do. So that'll definitely be different. So we'll have to see how they handle that. But I mean, it's hard to say. It'd just be really hard for me to not see them win at least 10, 11 games.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they start off the season against the Chiefs. Talk about like a kick in the gut. Like,
no, the team that eliminated you. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be a pretty good game. I think it's like the Chiefs are no joke, but also the Browns. It's gonna be no joke. I just think that's definitely gonna be a loss for the Browns because I think it's a little too early. If they saw them later in the season, I can see them maybe being a really close game. But
very different contrast of styles too.
Yeah.
The way they play football.
Yeah. Then they got some easy wins in here too, against against Houston, against Detroit, obviously against the Bengals. I want to see them I'm kind of I don't say I hate the Steelers, but I'm just kind of like over seeing them too much already. It's just like
I agree. Like my friend's a Steelers fan, and I'm like, you never have to get Sunday ticket because your game is always going to be on CBS or Fox every week, or they'll be in prime time.
Yeah,
like 5 times.
Yeah, that's why I'm just kind of like, I think the Browns are more of an interesting team right now than the Steelers. The Steelers are kind of, I'm a little bit over them. I've been over them for a few years already, but
I think they're on different trajectories too. Like the Browns are going up, where I think the Steelers are kind of.
Yeah, for sure. So do you see the Cleveland winning the division?
I could totally see Cleveland winning this division this year.
Yeah. There's only one other team that could possibly win it, and it's not Pittsburgh in my opinion.
No, I agree. I was just going to say that too.
Yeah,
it's going to be a two-team race. I think.
I mean, but you never know. Because Pittsburgh went 11-0 last year. First 11 games, they went undefeated, which I did not see happening. It was like before they got their first loss. But every time they won, it was kind of barely. There was no like games where I'm like, oh my god, that was such a good game. It was just like,
No, I agree.
Yeah, there's all those memes. I don't know if you saw those last year.
Oh yeah,
it's like one of these guys don't belong here, and it's like all these other ones, and then there's like the Steelers. They're like, oh, they don't belong in this undefeated category.
Well, I mean, they didn't really play too many teams that were winning, and the teams that they were playing that weren't winning, they were barely beating.
Yeah.
I mean, the Indianapolis Colts win was pretty impressive. We'll give them that. They're down like 20 or something like that, and they came back and won in the second half. But that was a pretty decent team, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Colts are really good. They're gonna be really good this year too. But yeah, I got them over. I got them going over 9.5. I think they could squeeze out 10 wins. It could be a little bit more difficult, but I think they could do it for sure.
No, I agree.
For sure.
Definitely think they're a playoff team. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think they're going to the playoffs. Yeah. Like, I really, really do. But cool. We're gonna go on to the Ravens.
The Ravens.
So this is another team, and like I'm kind of a fan of them. So seeing them doing well a few years ago was really great, but then just falling so hard the year after, and then this past year, there was just I don't know what's going on.
Well, I think defenses were able to. I think 3 seasons ago, was that Lamar's rookie year?
I believe so.
I think most people like. Well, I think Lamar had a chip on his shoulder because he's like, I'm not a running back, I'm a quarterback.
Yeah.
And 2, a lot of people didn't really game plan for him to throw the ball. So, like, when he started throwing the ball, they were like, oh, crap. And then I think after having a season of being able to watch film, people were able to formulate defenses against him.
Yeah.
So, I feel like since his rookie year, passing the ball has just been somewhat of a struggle. Not a complete struggle, but, like, it wasn't like it was his rookie year when he went 13-3.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it might have been a confidence thing, too,
Yeah.
Like, I think, he lost a few games early on in the season, and it just never clicked, last season. And it might have been COVID. That's my guess is I think a team like that needs to get the reps in, and them not getting any and going straight to the season.
Right.
I think played a big role. So I expect them to do much, much, much better this season. But if they don't, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But
But I mean, the thing he has going for him though is even you can game plan all you want, but his freaking legs, man.
Oh yeah,
he's a burner. He can kill you so many ways.
Yeah,
that's why I said they can formulate game plans to maybe take the passing out, but like it's still almost impossible to take his legs out. He just goes. Yeah. But they only brought in 2 people. Right guard Kevin Zettler, who used to actually be a Cleveland Brown, and then Sammy Watkins. Woo, go receiving core.
Yeah, they didn't. I thought they picked up somebody else, didn't they?
Oh yeah, I think you said it earlier. This must not be updated. They just signed somebody. You were telling
me. The guard, Gus Edwards. They re-signed Devin Gray. Alejandro Villanova.
Oh, that's our goals, yeah.
Which I mean, they can always use a good O-line to protect them. But I was expecting they got Dobbins and Gus Edwards back there, which I think is going to be a killer. That's a killer backfield, especially then with Lamar Jackson. That's kind of having 3 running backs, and then one that can has an arm.
And I'm sensing a big trend with this division: defense, 2 running backs, mobile quarterback.
Oh yeah.
But I just think Cleveland has the better offensive line and the better receiving core, and I think that's what kind of puts them over the top, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Because they got Marquise Brown, which Martin already said he's not Hollywood.
I was just gonna say that too. He needs to lose his Hollywood. He's lost it, man.
Yeah,
not Hollywood
pull that Hollywood card. Yeah, for sure. He's not. He did not do good there. Sammy Watkins and then Bateman, and then Mark Andrews and Nick Boyle are their tight end. So I was like, I think if they could get a good tight end, like a really good tight end, I think it would make Brown and Watkins be better too.
I think they have that with Mark Andrews. I think he has potential to be really, really good.
Yeah, he has potential to be really, really good. I'm trying to remember what he did last season. I don't know what his stats were last season.
I had him. He wasn't horrible. I mean, he wasn't, top tier. He wasn't Travis Kelce like numbers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No way. He had 7 touchdowns. The longest was 39. He was 57 received, targeted 88 times. Not 700 yards. Average 12. Not too bad. A couple fumbles. So,
but I think with Watkins that'll also help his numbers too, though. Mm-hmm. But I think that's the reason why I think it was harder for Lamar Jackson to throw is because like his rookie year was also Marquise Brown's rookie year, and they both kind of came out like, oh, deep ball. Like I remember the first game he had like 2 deep touchdowns, and everyone was like, oh crap, what is this?
That's right. Because they're like, oh, he can throw.
Yeah.
Well, he definitely made it a point to throw some, good long balls like that and show people.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the dude, he's built differently though, man. He's so. I don't know how he can be so lean, but also so like big at the same time. You know what I mean? Because like he is super lean, but then you see him and he's got this like big old neck and he's got these massive. I don't say massive arms, but he got pretty big arms for a QB.
He's pretty muscular.
Yeah,
he's backing on the muscle.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, he's definitely built much differently than some of these other mobile QBs. I don't know. As the years keep coming, like these mobile QBs, like started with like Michael Vick and stuff like that. Whereas like now you're up to like Lamar Jackson, who's just like it looks like he's wearing a neck brace at all times. He's got that really thick neck, which I'm like, yeah, if you're running, that's one thing you would definitely want to have all the muscle around,
right? Absorb those hits
for sure. And their defense, pretty good. I'm looking at they got Humphrey still.
Yeah, they did lose a couple people, 2 defensive ends. They lost Matt Judden and Yannick Nagaku, the guy who's like played for every team in the NFL, feels like. Started with Jacksonville, then went to Minnesota, then got traded to the Ravens. Now I think he's in Oakland now. Or not Oakland. Wow. Las Vegas.
I know you still want to say Oakland. You're
Lord.
saying Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas.
I know all those fans got to be pissed off. But that's a whole different.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. But man, I mean, they still got Justin Tucker, who is a kind of a shutdown kicker.
Oh yeah, Justin Tucker.
Yeah,
games on the line, 50-yard field goal, automatic.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, having a kicker like that is always good to have. Speaking of real quick, I know go back to the Browns. They have Cody Parkey, who in Chicago we know him very, very well, and we were not happy that he made to the playoffs last year, and the Bears didn't. He is the double doink. If you remember,
most playoffs. One field goal away from the NFC Championship game.
Oh my God, the double doink. But if
you ask Pat McAfee, that kick was blocked.
Is that what he says?
He said a hand got on the ball, and that's why it went off.
But I mean, he was also known for the whole season to hit the uprights so much.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that whole season he was hitting the uprights.
Yeah. Then it'd be like, I feel like if you hit a upright, you should get like a double, get 2 points instead of just a 1 point or something like that, or 4 points instead of 3 points. It's like you're able to hit that tiny little thing. But yeah, man. Let's see where they are at. So you want to guess where their over-under's at?
I'm gonna go 9.5 again.
They got them at 11.
Holy!
They have them winning the division, which
they speak highly of the Ravens. I'm gonna go under.
I'm gonna go under as well.
Because I don't know, 11's kind of a high mark.
Yeah. I mean, I can see Cleveland and Baltimore both going 10, but I see Baltimore kind of going more 11. I really don't see them winning too much. Yeah, that's kind of a lot. Real quick.
I mean, it's not a stretch to see them go 11 or maybe more, but I don't know. Just look at them last year, almost the same team. When they won 10 games last year.
So I got to look that up. But it looks like the beginning of the season isn't too bad. The middle isn't too bad. They're gonna have a rough ending. Besides the Steelers, which they should win. Even then, yeah, I don't know. They have a pretty good schedule. Nothing too difficult. See the Rams, the Packers, the Chargers, the Colts. The Chiefs, obviously. Yeah, that's in week 2. So they see Ravens the opening the first week, or the Ravens and Raiders. Which I think that's a good game for them to start off with. It's a team that they should win. And
but it isn't necessarily like a easy win.
Exactly. It's not an easy win, but it's like that's really gonna set it up, because after that, then you got the Chiefs, which are, man, good luck with that. But then you got Lions, Broncos, Colts, So I think that first game is going to definitely set them up for their confidence. Because I feel like if they have the confidence, they can get the win. If you can build up Jackson's confidence. I feel like he definitely plays with a lot of emotion. So if he feels like he's not good, he's gonna play not good. That's the feeling I get when I watch him.
I know. I kind of get that feeling too, because when things are going good, he's all like jumpy, yeah. But then as soon as things start going bad, he's on the bench with his head down. Yeah,
or maybe this time he can learn to take a crap before the game.
I was just thinking that too. I was like, or running off to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
he swears he wasn't doing.
Yeah, okay. He definitely was doing the holding your poop run to the locker room. Did he do that twice? He did that twice, right? Or just that one time?
I just remember the one time, and
I remember the one
another
time.
one.
I don't know, but the one time was funny enough. So we both got him going under 11 games. Then we got the last team, the former best team in the division,
The Steel
the
Curtain.
Steelers. Yeah, not real. not
They lost a lot of people, and all they brought in was Joe Hag, right guard.
That's all they brought in?
That's it.
Oh my god. Oh,
they lost three starting offensive linemen, and then they brought in some guy named Joe Hag.
Yeah. Who's he even from?
I don't even know who he is, to be honest.
Yeah, it was like, oh, man. Yeah, because I know they have, defensive back issues.
Colts.
Colts.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I don't know a lot of O-line people. I know if we had Marvin on, Marvin's really good with a lot of offensive line people. But man, I don't see these guys doing much at all.
But they did get Najee Harris with their first pick in the draft.
Did they?
Running back, Alabama. Man, their first 4 picks are all offense. They got Pat Fairview, tight end out of Penn State. Kendrick Green, 3rd round, got an offensive guard out of Illinois.
Not bad.
And then in the 4th round, they got Dan Moore Jr., offensive tackle out of Texas A&M. And then they end it with 4 defensive players, and then their very last pick is, had to waste a pick on a punter.
A punter?
They drafted a punter.
Jeez. I guess. I don't know. I mean, maybe they figure they can do something with special teams this year.
Maybe.
But I mean, they did get who was it? Dwayne Haskins, I believe, right?
Yeah, they signed him. I think last season when they kept him.
Yeah, it was like which I think is could be a really, really good pickup because Haskins has issues, and if anybody is able to fix it, it's definitely Mike Tomlin. I feel like Mike Tomlin is just he's such a great coach. A great coach, and I think he could get the most out of Haskins. That's gonna be interesting to see what he could do.
I agree.
But I mean,
some more structure than we probably had given him. Well, I'm not saying Ron Rivera probably tried, but maybe Tomlin has more of a leash, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, but Tomlin is just he's a different. I mean, Rivera and him are kind of like similar, I guess, but it's also just Tomlin. Something about Tomlin just like you just walk in, you're just like the way he carries himself, the way he talks, the way he like just coaches is like you automatically give him like all your respect, kind of thing. Is just he's just really one of those coaches, that you only see every so often. So being behind Big Ben, because Ben is going to play this year. I don't know how much of this year, but he's going to play this year. But if he can sit behind Ben for at least a few games and kind of like really go under his wing, I could see Haskins doing good.
Yeah.
Because talk about like a chip on his shoulder. If Jackson could do that, with having the chip on his shoulder, Haskins, it's time, dude. This is like your last chance, kind of deal. Mm-hmm. It's do or die for him because if he acts up or does anything like he did in the past, I mean, he's done in the league. I don't see anything wanting to risk him. Yeah,
I know we're gonna be like, we'll give you a shot.
I don't really.
Well, yeah, he has potential. He's drafted with the 15th pick.
Yeah. I think the Steelers have like a head coach, or one of the coaches, not the head coach. One of the coaches is a woman, right?
Maybe. I know we have one.
I know Washington has
Buccaneers brought in the one that was in San Francisco. I think the Chiefs have one.
I see an article. The Steelers have the most supportive fan base of female coaches. That's why I was like, do they have a female coach?
No, they just support them.
They just support. Yeah.
No, they might. I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh God. So it's funny. So the results are 97.8% of the Steeler fans are accepting of women coaches. The Jaguars ranked second and 96.7%. Guess who's the least accepting fan base for female coaches?
Chicago.
Yes. Jesus.
I just figured by the way you were laughing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's probably Chicago.
Which is still not bad. It's 89.1% of the fans are accepting of a female coach. I mean, one for me, I'm like
10.1% of your fans are sexist.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. For me, it's like I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't, like, why? If somebody knows how to play or break down and coach a sport, then
right.
And then you get a lot of these people saying like, oh, like, well, they never played football. I was like, I'm sure a lot of other like coaching and stuff like that, like never really played football. You know what I mean?
Kyle Shanahan never played football.
Yeah, so I was like, a great, but also a great player doesn't equal a great coach. It doesn't always kind of carry over like that.
Yeah.
Because who is it? Mike Singletary. Oh man.
Yeah.
He's a great assistant for sure. But
he was a great player.
Oh boy, that was not fun to watch. Like being a Chicago fan, watching him be so bad of a head coach.
Was he 49ers?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. But I don't know. People just expected him to be a great coach because
I was excited for him too. Because, like you said, he was a really, really good assistant.
Yeah, he still is. I forgot where he's at now, but
his defenses are usually really top notch.
Yeah, but I mean, it just doesn't happen. Sometimes you're just not meant to be a head coach. So, but that's pretty funny. Let's see. They're over under. I keep losing that. 8.5. So they have them ranked third in the division.
I mean, that's about where I have them, but I want to be a little closer. Interesting. I guess that is pretty close, though. 11, 9.5, 8.5.
Then what was the other one? 6.5 or something like that?
Oh, they were in first place, so I can only imagine how hard their schedule is. I'm going to go under.
Ooh. So their first game is against the Bills.
Yeah.
That's going to be a rough game. That's going to be a rough game for sure. Yeah, Packers. I'm still, they're gonna see the Packers, but the Packers, I'm just still kind of like, they could be a great team or a bad team. All depends on one person, So it could be an easy win.
Two people.
Who's the second one?
Love.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah.
Because if Rodgers is done, Love's probably going to be the starting quarterback.
That's true.
And for all we know, he could come out and just be like 400 yards, 500 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, better than Errol. God, don't put that curse on us, man. Don't put that curse on us in Chicago. We just got some hope over here, man.
Well, I mean, when's the last time they didn't have a franchise quarterback? So.
Exactly.
Literally Favre, then Rodgers. You got to go to like the early 90s.
I think even before Aaron Rodgers before Brett Favre.
Oh, that's true. They did have a guy who was.
Oh my God, I forgot who it was. Good. Yeah, I can't think of his name. We're on brain fart. But Steelers got a pretty tough season. They see the Chiefs towards the end of the season. Titans, they see the Bears. Pretty fun one. The Seahawks and them might be a pretty good game because they're both kind of like teams on the downward trend. So maybe one can show that they're not as bad as the other one. Hopefully the Seahawks. Because I think the Seahawks could show a little bit more.
I think Joe Burrow should take notes from Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson on how to be a good quarterback and not have an offensive line.
Yeah, seriously.
I was like, take some notes, Burrow.
Yeah. Yeah,
they make it work.
But 8.5, man, I don't. That's probably the one that's right there because I can see them winning 8 or 9, but it really depends on Big Ben. I think if he's still got a little bit of gas in that tank, maybe, but he's definitely riding on fumes at this point. I mean,
I don't disagree.
I mean, because then you got Haskins behind him, and I don't know if he's ready or not. So that's gonna be interesting.
They still have Mason Rudolph. We still have Mason Rudolph. I think Haskins is third string. I wonder if they still have Dobbs.
I forgot they had Rudolph. Their depth chart. So they got Smith Schuster still, which is pretty good. Chase Claypool, that's right. Deontay Johnson. Ebron. They got Ebron here.
They have all three of them.
Yeah.
Or all four of them.
Mason Rudolph.
Haskins and then Dobbs.
Yeah, I don't see Dobbs. If it comes down to Dobbs and Haskins, I would think they would put Haskins in.
Oh yeah, no, I don't disagree. I just thought it was interesting. Like, how much faith do you have in Haskins if you're still keeping Dobbs? Like 4 quarterbacks. Yeah. That's a lot of room on your depth chart there.
I know, seriously.
You got to go light.
trading away.
Yeah.
Also, man,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No. You say, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying, like, I lost train of thought now. I cut you off.
My bad.
No, that's my fault. I cut you off.
That's all good, man. But I can see if Big Ben gets hurt, that he just takes an early retirement. Maybe. Midway through the season gets hurt and he's like, I'm done.
I tried.
And then then the 3 quarterbacks make more sense, because now he's gone. But yeah, they still got Najee Harris, which is good. Benny Snell, McFarland, in the backfield. So, yeah, but a couple good tight ends too. The was it Freiermuth, or like his name is, and Eric Ebron. He's the main guy, I think. But I don't know. Do you think Claypool's going to have another pretty good season? Because I know Juju didn't see too much.
I think the only reason that Claypool and the other receivers did as good last year was because of Juju Smith, because everyone was like triple teaming him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I keep hearing a lot of things about Deontay Johnson in Pittsburgh, and that's the pick to get if you're going to get a Pittsburgh receiver.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, oh man, I don't know. I think I would still keep it in that order. I think I would still go Juju, Claypool, and then Johnson. Because I think now people will kind of see Claypool was more of a threat, but maybe they might have to put and not stack the side on whatever Juju is on.
Yeah.
Because Claypool does got some hand. I don't remember too much of Johnson. He's not a rookie, is he?
No, but I think he's still really young.
Yeah, he's super young. He's only
24.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh man. What about their defense? Any thoughts on their defense?
Well, I mean, when you got TJ Watt, they're not going to be terrible. But they didn't. They lost Bud Dupree. And they didn't really replace him with anybody. I mean, they got somebody in the draft, but I mean,
yeah, you don't know where
they got him later in the draft, just like second or third round. And not to say those people can't produce right away, but they tend to not produce right away.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And they also lost their second tight or cornerback, I think, Mike Hilton.
Yeah, because I'm looking at this article where it says, "Is Brooks Jr. the answer to the Steelers' DP or DB depth issue?" Like, oh, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna be. I think they're done, which is I'm like I know we both said kind of glad. Pittsburgh had their time. Onto the new shiny Browns.
Right. Yeah, the Browns have some time. They never get time.
Exactly. Well, cool, man. Is there anything else for the division? I think we might have missed or anything.
No, I think that's it.
Oh well, that's right. With the Steelers 8.5. What do you think? Under or over or under?
I'm gonna go under.
Yeah.
Just because they lost a lot of offensive linemen, they only brought one in, and then a third-round pick for another one, and just the health issues that Ben Roethlisberger has. And then once he goes, like without Roethlisberger, that team got nothing. Rudolph is already. I already think the reason they brought in Haskins is because they were already kind of moving on from Mason Rudolph.
But yeah, definitely. I think they knew. Yeah, Hoskins is probably if everything goes according to their plan, I could see Hoskins being there starting to be next season. Probably not this season, but for sure next season if their plan I think goes the way they want it to, which you never know. But
well, I could see I could see Roethlisberger getting hurt, bringing in Mason Rudolph. He doesn't succeed again, and they're like, "All right, Haskins, show us what you got."
Yeah. Which would be good. I think he'll definitely. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'd like seeing a good, kind of comeback story.
Yeah.
He never got the chance, and then when he did get the chance, he kind of blew it, and the whole stripper thing last year with COVID. Oh man, he just had a really messed up season last year.
Yeah, telling me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you know. That'd be interesting. But cool, man.
Ideally, though, I'd like to see him ride the bench the whole year, though. Just let him get reps, let him practice, and then maybe next year, let him play.
Yeah, I hope. Because Mason Rudolph he's not the greatest QB to sit behind, but having Big Ben, when Big Ben gets hurt, and he's on the sideline with Haskins, I can see that being really beneficial to Haskins, but I don't know if Big Ben is that kind of guy. Yeah,
I don't know either.
I don't know much about him besides the big allegation.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever really been in that situation where he's had someone to really mentor.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, that is the AFC North. So hopefully next week for Dynasty Pylon, Martin should be back. I know he was texting the group with us at the Nerd Huddle that he might be extended because all the wildfires going out in Arizona.
That's not good.
So, yeah, that's crazy stuff, man. Crazy. Are you close to all the fires, or you kind of?
No, they're up north.
Okay. But I'm assuming that's
Phoenix and Flagstaff.
Oh, okay. But I'm assuming that's where he's at, kind of.
Yeah, I think that's where his training was. And then I think they're mobilizing him to help evacuate houses and stuff around the fires.
Yeah. So he might be. He said he might be extended. So if he is, we're all, chip in and help out with this show and all the other shows and stuff like that. Well, so most importantly, I just want him to be safe out there, man.
Exactly.
But cool. That is it for the AFC North. So Dynasty Pylon is part of the Nerd Huddle. We want to let all you guys know, please subscribe to the Dynasty Pylon channel on YouTube. You guys are at 44 subs, I think, or somewhere around there. We're close to 50. So we want to hit that 50 mark soon, man. I think the goal is the end of this month to try to hit 50. Hopefully, we'll see.
Yep.
But next week we're doing the AFC South on the Dynasty Pylon, breaking that down, all that good stuff. And then this is our schedule. So Thursday we have Did We Just Become Best Friends, which is tomorrow. We are going to do Loki episode 3 breakdown and talk about some other like pop culture kind of stuff going on. And then Sunday we got the Morning Spike, where all your football and fantasy football updates and stuff like that. I believe we're doing the NFC North, which is I think all the guys in that show is going to be, we're all from Chicago. So,
yeah.
So I got to
maybe
do
a little
like,
bear centric.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, we gotta talk about the other teams besides the Bears. So that's going to be pretty fun. And then Monday we got Spoiler Kings, and the Spoiler Kings are reviewing the Fast 9 movie. The trailers on this movie are bonkers, man. I can't wait to watch this stupid thing. It's one of those, Fast 9 is one of those movies that it's so stupid that it's fun to watch. And I think in the trailer it looks like they're going to outer space. I don't know how. Like, it just looks so stupid. I can't wait. It's gonna be fun.
How did we get here? How did we get here?
Exactly. Like,
drag racing to
yeah, drag racing to outer space. Oh my god! You know, Fast 12 is gonna be like time travel and shit.
Right.
Real quick, I know it's like a little off, but I know there's a rumor that Jurassic Park and Fast 9 might do like a crossover event movie thing, which would be
not surprising.
Oh, that would be
dinosaurs into the fold.
Yeah, that'd be epic. Where like a fucking T-Rex is chasing Dom, and he's like outrunning a T-Rex in his stupid Charger. Oh man, that'd be awesome. But yeah, then so that's Mondays doing Fast 9. Tuesdays, Panda and Grizzly. They're doing some more Bears weeks and all their updates and stuff like that. So make sure you go follow the Dynasty Pylon, this channel right here, where we go live every Wednesday. And I know once the season starts, you and Martin are gonna do a lot more stuff with all that during the season. So that's gonna be fun. So make sure you sub, don't miss that. And then make sure you sub to the Nerd Huddle Podcast Network, where you can catch all the other shows. But yeah, thank you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Later.
Getting hyped when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, yeah, that's how I'm living.